Welcome back to Supers Live. It's time for post race brought to you by Wags Custom Cool Awards. Picking up a big points night here after winning in a big way. Huge lead at the end of this one over almost 3 seconds on second place. Dave O. We're talking about the guy who's sitting in the broadcast booth with us after picking up the mid-season championship. Brad Keyser, the coach, comes home with a win. Congratulations, Brad. It was a heck of a good run for you in that Chasing Cameras number 3. Man, how were you able to get that big of a lead on Dave O and then hang on, man? That was a lot of green flag racing out there.
Well, yeah, thanks, Bob. One, I gotta throw a shout out to the whole field tonight. We ran a 100 lap race with one caution. I thought it was some of the best races we've had in a while. I know it was only 11 car field, but it's still a great 11 car field. Greg did great. I watched Anthony have some great runs. Danny Ray was doing really well up until he had a little incident down turn one. But 100 laps with one incident it definitely changes the way these races play out in a good and different way. And obviously, I want to say, thanks to Hairbag Studios, Icing on Top, First to Finish Servers for basically putting on a really good show tonight. Realistically, with the race, I got in front of Dave, and I think we were both kind of riding it there for a while, trying to figure each other out. He was pretty much about a half a second behind me, but he was driving on a controller tonight, so I knew he didn't quite have the car ability to maybe really push me on the outside, and I wasn't going to give the bottom up to him. And then we got the restart there after the caution, and I bobbled initially, and Dave got up to me, and then I just started putting together good laps and burned the fuel off. It's a setup that I ran for the 80 lap Pine, very similar setup that night that I was doing real well and just didn't put it together. Um, so it was just a good combination of it's been a good setup that we've been running now for a while. I'm real comfortable when it's more than 35 laps because I can be a little more patient. I felt that I let the race come to me a little better. I ran for a while with you because I know it was Rob, Anthony, you, me for a while, and I was able to be patient and kind of let you play out with Anthony. And then once you had a little bobble coming off too. Once that happened, then I was able to ride with Anthony there for a little while and really set an over under up on him coming out of two to get cleared, and then chasing down Rob was fun, and it was just like old days chasing Rob down, and I mean he made me work for it. I mean I had to really work it on the outside, and I had to squeeze and be a little aggressive with it, but there was no contact between the two of us. That's the one thing with Rob. I know he's gonna give me space, and I hope he feels the same way with me. And once I got into the fresh air, then I could pretty much run the line I wanted. And like I said, the lap traffic was outstanding tonight. It was, like I said, this is in terms of top to bottom execution of an online race, I think you can't get much cleaner than how we performed tonight.
Brad, it's been a tough season for you, man. You have really struggled this year. Was last week's win the momentum you needed to come into this week and start maybe seriously considering that you're not out of it for the overall season championship?
Uh, yeah, it could change it. I changed my perspective last week to just running for wins and seeing where it plays out. Um, being patient, but yet being aggressive and going for it. So, tonight helps in terms of the point battle, but Ryan came home third, so it's not as big of a gap to him uh, as maybe it could have been. I mean, Ryan's done a great job all year of really minimizing the damage of he got a little wing damage behind me early in the race, and instead of turning that into a catastrophic night, he does a great job coming home third. And for me to really get back into points, I would unfortunately need Ryan to have a bad night. You don't wish that on anybody, but it is sim racing, and you never know what happens. So it's exciting just to be back in victory lane a little bit, and it's also good having Dave back on the track. I can't wait to. I think 2 weeks from now he'll be back with his wheel and good to go.
Brad, when you look at this field, you really had to work your tail off. Dave came from last. Ryan started in the same row as you. The level of competition has just been outstanding. But to be able to work up through this field of cars, I think maybe it shows how tough it is when there's not a straight up start. You were able to pull it off tonight. Any thoughts on these inversions and how they work out?
I Generally, I love the inversions. Most of the year, I've not been part of it, so it's nice to be part of the inversion. Um, but realistically, I got the lucky draw tonight. Anthony is definitely coming along. He's going to win some races, but Rob's a veteran, and he definitely got a little bit better start on the go. The outside line just went a little bit better, and I know Keith is going to run his race off the bat. So I knew if I could just follow you down through 3 and 4, the outside lane might clear, and that was really gonna be the difference for me is getting Ryan pinned back a little bit. Um, and I think that was really kind of the what set the whole race up is the outside line rolled, and it was really just fortune of being in a line with two veterans in front of me who know what they're doing and can get going on a start. So sometimes the invert works out very much in your favor, and other times the invert does not, and sometimes you're not part of the invert. So like I said, just happy to be in it for once.
I know you're happy to be sitting in victory lane here tonight at Oswego Speedway. Congratulations, Brad. A heck of a run for you. Mid-season championship feature win, and that was enough to give you the mid-season championship and the 15 bonus points. Congratulations, Brad.
Thank you very much, and again, thank you for everyone's hard work.
Brad Keyser, your winner here tonight at the Supers Mid-Season Championship 100 lap Supermodified Sim Racing event. One caution in 100 laps. That's not too bad. That's some seriously competitive racing. Man, I don't think you can ask for much more than that. Like Brad said, top to bottom, one of the better races we've seen this year out of all the drivers. Next week, we hope to do the same thing, but it's going to be a cool event. You'll want to come back for it because it's the first finish race servers irregular 45. We call it the irregular 45 because our regular shows are the points one handicap, and we run 2 heats and go into the feature. Well, this one is a throwback. It's retro night. We're taking you back to the greatest days of the home of the super modifieds, Oswego Speedway, where you had to race your tail off, man. You had to if you were a guy that won a lot, you started deep in a field of up to 40-45 guys trying to make a 24-car starting field for the feature. You started deep in your heat race. You had to race your way up into a qualifying spot, and then you got re-handicapped into a semi-feature. You had to race your way up through that to get your handicap back, and you were going to be handicapped again into your feature lineup. And if you were somebody like Jimmy Champagne that won a lot, you weren't going to start any better than 12th in a feature race that started 24 cars. Next week, we're going to emulate that thanks to First Finish Race Service, Rob Warren, and his sponsorship of that race, taking it back retro style to the old school days of Oswego Speedway, where you had to start deep and get to the front. Don't miss that. Back to our regular scheduled broadcast time. We'll be broadcasting that whole event for you, the heat, semis, and feature, and we're excited to be able to bring that to you courtesy of First Finish Race Servers and their great sponsorship here of the original Super Modified Sim Racing sanction. And in 2 weeks' time, we'll be taking a quick our summer break, but then we'll come back with the Mr. Online Super Modified, a 2-night show on a Monday and Tuesday. You won't want to miss that. So lots of great Super Modified racing coming up. For the real Super Modifieds, you'll want to check out the supers.net schedule page. You can find out where you can go racing this weekend. Star Speedway running the 350 Supers, Oswego running the 350 Supers, and a double bill for the regular Super Modified division. So there's all kinds of racing going on for the real Super Modifieds. You want to check it out. Go to supers.net, click the schedule tab. While you're there, consider making a donation to help injured super modified drivers. Well, we sure do appreciate all of you guys coming in to hang out with us and enjoy the broadcast here tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show. We want to say thanks to First and Finish Race Servers for providing all of our servers. Also, breezegraphics.com, all those great graphics you see during the stream. We want to say thank you also to Hairbag Studios, Kevin Timmons, our video producer, turning the knobs and spinning the dials and pulling his hair out up there in Baldwinsville, New York. Icing's on top, special cakes for all occasions, and proud sponsor of the Supers Rookie of the Year Award. Boy, we saw some great racing out of our rookies tonight. And also sponsor of the Supers Triple Crown of Super Modified Sim Racing, presented by Icing's on Top. I want to say thanks and give a shout out to our friends at Grid grid-finder.com. Grid Finder. Find your place on the grid. Burger Smokehouse, simple family tradition since 1927. On the web at smokehouse.com. And Wags Custom and Cool Awards. Join us in 1 week's time for the first to finish race servers irregular 45. Until then, congratulations once again to our winner Brad Geezer, second place Davo, and third place Ryan Clunan here tonight at the SUPRS Mid-Season Championship 100 R Factor Supermodified Sim Racing event at Oswego Speedway. We'll be back next week. Until then, be kind to your neighbor and remember, keep it wing side up and wheels to the ground.
Someone you love, and if you're going through it, I say do it with someone you love. I've been around a long time, in and out of love, but if you're gonna do it, I say do it with someone you love.